Okay, so before we begin, if Punch Drunk wanted to make his prediction real quick before we begin here, so here I'll let him talk.
Baby, let's make a run for the border. I got a hunger, only tacos can't stop. I know exactly what I'll order. Three tacos, two tostadas, and a soda pop. Yeah, and don't forget the hot sauce, chulo. Oh, man, you are so perfect, so spectacular in every way. You bring light into my life, and you almost make me forget all about tacos. Ooh, tacos so good in my tummy, yummy, yummy. Give me more. I love you, Ben. You almost make me forget about tacos.
Yeah, sorry, that was just a little bit of input from Punch Drunk Boxing there as to who he thinks is going to win the fight. But now on to the real prediction from somebody that actually really knows boxing. Okay, this is actually, oh my God, people, breaking fucking news. Canelo Alvarez is actually taking on a competitive fight for once. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Canelo Alvarez is actually fighting somebody challenging for the first time in 4 fucking years. Whip-de-doo, Basil. Okay. Very easy fight to predict here, people. Very easy fight. It's only a difficult fight to predict to the untrained eye, like I always tell you guys. People who have never boxed before or started watching boxing when they were 25 to 30 years old, unlike me, who's been doing this shit since he was a fucking child. Very easy fight to predict here, guys. It's not hard at all. First of all, Dimitri Bivol is the reigning WBA light heavyweight champion. Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed weakling at 168. That's a steroid-abusing cocksucker. Dimitri Bivol will absolutely give Canelo Alvarez a boxing lesson. He's too mobile. Dimitri Bivol, he has a couple inches of height, couple inches of reach on Canelo, and that matters because Bivol has a piston-like jab that he's going to be fucking putting in Canelo Alvarez's juiced-up mouth all night long. I actually think this fight is going to be fairly one-sided. I think Bivol is going to give Canelo Alvarez an absolute fucking boxing lesson and make him look amateurish at times. I think that Canelo, because a lot, like I say, a lot of these, the IBFPs and the punch drunks and the white and browns out there, they're going to cream their G strings as soon as Canelo Alvarez takes his shirt off and shows you his injection marks. So, I mean, Dimitri Bivol is not Caleb Plant. Okay? Dimitri Bivol is not Caleb Plant. He's not Billy Joe Saunders. He's a far superior, far more skilled, far more intelligent, and disciplined fighter than those guys. Something crucial in this fight, in my personal opinion, is that Dimitri Bivol is able to avoid Canelo Alvarez's body shots so that he can keep Canelo Alvarez guessing. He keeps him moving, guessing, because despite popular belief, Canelo Alvarez doesn't have great footwork, guys. Gennady Golovkin, who also isn't the quickest guy on his feet. I mean, he's decent. He's got somewhat quick feet, but why do you think Gennady Golovkin's able to tee off on Canelo Alvarez? Because Canelo Alvarez is somewhat flat-footed. So the whole key to this thing, in my opinion, is Dimitri Bivol's mobility and his arsenal. He's got a good repertoire of punches, and I think he will. I think Canelo Alvarez is going to have a hard time finding Dimitri Bivol, to be quite honest. And Dimitri Bivol sometimes does keep his elbows wide apart and his hands low. So that would be my number one thing if I was Dimitri Bivol. Avoid as many of those body shots as possible so that you have your footwork and your more mobility throughout the 12-round fight, throughout the gist of the 12 rounds. And another thing is, like I say, Dimitri Bivol's a very good combination puncher. He's got a fucking fast piston-like jab. I think Dimitri Bivol is going to make Canelo Alvarez look absolutely childish in this fight. Canelo Alvarez is a flat-footed plotter. He's been fighting bums and nobodies for the past 4 years, aside of Kovalev, which he weight drained and gave but besides a weight drain shot to pieces Kovalev, in which he weight drained. He's actually got to fight a real fighter for the first time in 4 years since the Gennady Golovkin rematch. And in my opinion, this is where the fight's going to implode. This is where it's going to implode on Canelo Alvarez. I mean, in my opinion, the Billy Joe Saunders fights, and as well as the Caleb Plant fights, were just absolutely disgusting to me. Canelo Alvarez looked like a juiced up. He looked like Wes Watson's gay, juiced up, redheaded cousin. Okay. I did 10 years in the California Department of Corrections. If you want to get your life straightened out. Shut the fuck up, Wes. You were a little rich boy that took snowboarding trips when you were a 4-year-old to Tokyo. Shut up. Now, but that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. But, Canelo Alvarez has made a career out of buying judges, bribing, getting gift decisions, waiting till guys aged out. He's Mexican Floyd Mayweather. He lost to Gennady Golovkin twice, and he lost to Erislandy Lara twice. And in between competitive and good fights, Shane Mosley was 42 years old and a natural lightweight when Canelo fought him. Miguel Cotto's a natural 140-pounder. And he was 35 or 36 years old when Canelo fought him. Again, I challenge you freckled clenbuterol fans to name me one. Name me one great fighter that Canelo Alvarez legitimately beat in their prime. Name me one. Exactly, you can't. So, Canelo, like I say, Canelo is rather flat-footed. He does have somewhat of good upper body movement, but it's nothing Bivol hasn't seen before with his stellar amateur background. And he's got some pretty good experience in the professionals as well. So, like I say, I think Bivol is going to make Canelo Alvarez look like a fucking clown in this fight. There is one problem, though. Unfortunately, he's fighting Canelo Alvarez, and we know Canelo Alvarez already has the judges' scorecards pre-filled out. So, for my official prediction, I think Dimitri Bivol is going to give Canelo Alvarez an absolute boxing lesson. He's going to jab his face off, and he's going to make Canelo Alvarez look childish at times and make him look very amateurish at times. Unfortunately, because there's Mexican privilege in boxing, and even if you shoot the Mexican in the fucking head, you get a draw. If you whip out a fucking AR-15 and spray Canelo Alvarez, first of all, the entire crowd in Las Vegas's eyes will get blinded by steroids getting splattered all over the place, and secondly, you'll only get a draw because they'll somehow fucking pump Canelo Alvarez's heart back to working and then say, "Oh no, that's a draw, fuckers." But like I say, Canelo Alvarez is the whole key to this fight, people, is the footwork and the mobility, which those are two things that Canelo Alvarez has struggled with in the past. Go watch the Floyd fight, who's again, started off as a 130-pounder. Look at the Lara fight. And the other way to beat Canelo Alvarez is to be able to back him up, like a Gennady Golovkin or an Arthur Beterbiev, who Canelo Alvarez is currently ducking and aging out. So there's two ways to beat him. You have to have supreme boxing skills like a Bivol, like a Lara, like a Floyd, or you have to be able to have thunderous punching power and grit and a beard like Beterbiev or Gennady Golovkin. Another guy who Canelo Alvarez is waiting, Arthur Beterbiev, another guy who Canelo Alvarez is waiting until he turns 57 years old before he decides to muster up the courage and finally fight him. But that's the problem. So there's two ways to beat Floyd. I think Bivol has all the tools in the world to beat Canelo. I'm not going to be surprised if there's a rehydration clause slapped in somewhere in the middle of this thing, which is ridiculous. I'm not saying there is or isn't, but I'm pretty sure halfway through the training camp that Canelo Alvarez is going to decide that they want to fight at 172 or something along those lines. And he's got the scorecards figured out. Like I said, Canelo Alvarez's juice was just pouring out of his it was just coming out of his pores during the Caleb Plant and Billy Joe Saunders fight. It was fucking disgusting. Like I say, he looked like Big Herc's gay redheaded cousin. So, in my personal opinion, I think Dimitri Bivol is just, like I say, it's just key for Dimitri Bivol not to let Canelo Alvarez go to his body. Now, there is one other thing we have to talk about. So that Dimitri Bivol, like I say, can keep his mobility, can keep his feet throughout the full 12 rounds. There is one other thing to be discussed, though, and that is this. Dimitri Bivol is not a puncher. Okay? So, I don't see Bivol being able to knock Canelo out. And even if he does knock him down, they'll rule it a slip because, like I said, the fix is in. So, yeah, Bivol just has to outbox the shit out of him, which I think he's going to do. And I think he's going to make it look pretty fucking easy, people. Problem is, the fix is in. Dimitri Bivol's not getting a decision over Canelo Alvarez, people. He can outbox him 10 rounds to 2, just like Gennady Golovkin did in the first fight. He's not getting a decision. He can drop him 3 times. They'll call it a draw. There is no... bro, if they're going to rob Triple G, who was on pay-per-view multiple times, there is no way that they are going to give Dimitri Bivol a decision. And hence lies the problem. Dimitri Bivol's not a big puncher. And even if he does outbox him, he has to go above and beyond and, not let Canelo win a single round just to get a fair shake on the scorecard. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think Dimitri Bivol will win this fight. I think he's going to outbox Canelo Alvarez, and I think he's going to make Canelo Alvarez look very amateurish in this fight. But ultimately, corruption, clenbuterol boy, and the Mexicans and the WBC will have their day. And unfortunately, there's going to be another... guys, remember you heard it here. Remember you heard it from Johnny Boy first, because I will be away at summer camp when this fight takes place. So just remember that Johnny Boy told you Bivol is going to win this fight. He's just not going to get the decision. Canelo's going to... because like I say, Bivol will beat him, but he's going to have to go above and beyond and basically win every round just to get a fair shake on the scorecards. And in my opinion, that's asking a little bit too much of him. So, for my official prediction, I got Dimitri Bivol winning the fight. I got Canelo Alvarez getting the decision, unfortunately. So, that's my 2 cents anyways, people. Why is this LDBC member in a pink robe on my fucking okay, yeah, let's not do that. So, Canelo Alvarez is a flat-footed, roided-up plotter. Bivol will make him look like a child in spurts in this fight. Bivol will win, but he won't get the decision. So for Johnny Boy's official prediction, it's quite simple. I got Canelo Alvarez winning this fight by robbery/corruption. And people will continue to pretend that he's the pound-for-pound number 1. People will continue to pretend he's an all-time great, which he clearly is not. And yeah, so that's my 2 cents anyways. I wanted to get this one out there because I will be away for this fight. Dimitri Bivol will win the fight. Clenbuterol Alvaroid will get the decision, and, his fanboys like Minor Grams, Punch Drunk, IBFP, and the rest of these clowns will go on continuing to pretend to lie to themselves that Canelo Alvarez is pound-for-pound number 1 and an all-time great, which he's neither one of those fucking things, as we all well know. And we all well know that Canelo Alvarez is a juiced-up fucking fraud that lost his biggest fights, ages other men out, ducks people, bribes judges, just he's Mexican Floyd Mayweather, people. And that's what it is. Like I say, like I said, there's two ways to beat Canelo. You either have to have supreme boxing skills or you have to have a granite chin and a hell of a lot of power. Like a Floyd or a Lara on one hand, or like a Triple G or a Beterbiev. And Bivol does have a little bit of both. And he will make Canelo Alvarez look silly in certain spots in this fight. Canelo's flat-footed. Okay? But unfortunately, I just don't think that the judges will be kind of Dimitri Bivol. He's not that big of a name. So I got Dimitri Bivol for my official prediction. I got Dimitri Bivol winning the fight. I got Canelo Alvarez winning in the fight. I got Dimitri Bivol winning the fight. I have Canelo Alvarez getting the decision due to Mexican corruption and steroids. So please be sure to hit the like, guys. God bless you all and have a wonderful day. Fuck Canelo Alvarez. Fuck his mutant fans. Fuck his fat whore of a mother. Fuck his roided up brothers. And fuck all his cocksucking cancerous pus blob fans. Please be sure to hit the like and subscribe. And I'm out.